to Follow the Money. I'm China Barachina with my co-market Marites, Dan Slim. Here we uncover the stories and strategies of how money really moves. The PSEi has slipped about 3.5 from October 22 to November 5, a quiet but telling sign that investors are turning cautious. Foreign funds have pulled back slightly while the peso stays near to 59 to the dollar. Meanwhile, GDP growth sits around 5.5%, but steady but not spectacular. A sign of economies moving but not sprinting. So today we're asking, with the market drifting on the money, getting shy, where the opportunity and what's just a noise. But no, GDP will be announced on Friday. Ayan, welcome Dan Slim.
Hi Gina, how are you?
How are you? Naku, 59 to the dollar na kung kailan ka naman nandun sa US. Ano ba yan? Paano ka magsa-shopping yan?
Wala muna shopping.
So big picture, Dens. So if after 3.5% dip in just 2 weeks, what really is driving market's weakness?
Well, it's a cocktail of several things. No, first, of course, we're seeing we're seeing a drag on GDP forecast, right? And it's not so much what the GDP numbers would say, but it's really the cadence on government spending. So that's, I mean, how long is this corruption scandal going to go on, and when will we resume government spending to help prime the economy? The second factor would be your forex weakness, and then the third factor would be, I mean, compared to our ASEAN neighbors, we're underperforming. So, in terms of comparison, right? So.
Kulelat na nga eh.
Fund managers may try to cut losses on our markets just to offset their gains on other markets for some tax loss harvesting probably, or some window dressing just to improve their portfolios. No? So it's a mix of different things.
Talking about window dressing, mangyayari pa ba yun with a market like this?
Well, window dressing can be cutting losses so that the portfolio looks better. So compared to our ASEAN neighbors, we're the only ones at a loss. So they'll cut our position so that most of their positions are positive. And of course, when you see other markets in the green, and so it may tax loss harvesting, right? They'll offset the gains on their other positions by cutting losses, realizing the losses on our position, so that they can save on tax.
Yeah, but I'm still thinking, di ba? Syempre, on the first half of the year, marami rin namang nag-gain. But what I'm thinking right now, do you think na meron pa rin bang natitira na profit taking, or this is really a sign of like a deeper investors fatigue?
Well, investors fatigue can be, well, we don't have any catalysts right now, so there's no news what's going to drive the markets up. So fatigue can also be holidays, right? So nothing's happening, so we might as well just take a vacation.
Oo nga, puro nga kayo nasa bakasyon eh. Parang wala na kasing magawa, di ba? Pero what are the foreign investors seeing that locals might be missing right now?
Well, again, the comparison, right? So foreign investors are seeing more value in other Asian markets, and we lack, ang problema kasi we lack clarity on earnings, right? So we've cut interest rates 4 times already this year, so that's 100 basis points. So when are we going to see those interest rate cuts translate into accelerated earnings, right? So what we're seeing right now is a comparison between us and our ASEAN neighbors, and what they're seeing are better clarity on forward earnings, on on other markets compared to ours. So they're seeing those things, and we don't have those kind of clarity here, and that's causing some drag on sentiment and also in the markets.
And I'm also curious for the viewers that are not well versed in the markets and investing. Is there like a relative relationship when it comes to the weakening of the peso play sentiment and also the wiping out of the volume in the stock market, especially for companies with dollar exposure?
Well, for companies that are import driven, of course they'll feel some pressure with the foreign forex with the peso weakness, right? So we have the likes of probably SNR or Keeper.
SSI.
So especially SSI, we've seen the stock market, the stock price go down, no, significantly. But we can also see some tailwinds for companies that are earning dollars, probably some property stocks with BPO components, right?
Yeah. So malaki pa rin ba? Because in the factor that there are a lot of work from homes, and this employees are actually nagsusweldo sila in dollars, is it also a help, just like what the OFWs are like doing when it comes to like getting dollars from from outside, getting in?
I There's no data to correlate that right now, but if you look at the initial earnings results that we are seeing, right, there seems to be some uptick in consumer activity. EMI reported earnings, and there was a surprise in their domestic brandy segment. RRHI's earnings also saw surprising same-store sales growth on their DIY and their specialty store segments. In the earnings for Meg, the only bright spot there was the mall segment, which grew 13%. And this morning, CNPF reported earnings 16% growth. They are now at 82% of their full-year target. So we are seeing some
light at the end of the tunnel.
some light in the consumer
Sector.
space. And if you look at GDP, 75% of GDP component is consumer spending. So who knows, maybe tomorrow's GDP might surprise to the upside, and then that could provide some catalyst. Well, but we'll see, right? So again, I can't correlate the earnings of the gig economy or work from home earning dollars with spending, because I don't have data to connect the two dots. But given the robust earnings so far, in terms of consumer segments of these companies, probably there's something we should look into further in that space.
I see. And then with the inflation naman, steady at 1.7%, do you think the BSP will keep the rates, start hinting at cuts soon?
Well, there's room for rate cuts, no? Inflation has tamed. We need to catch up on our GDP targets, because I mean the target for GDP is still 6 to 8%, and we're way below that. So
Yeah.
GDP could, BSP could decide to cut rates. I mean, they did mention that they're more in favor of stimulating the economy than protecting the peso. So that could be a signal that the BSP might cut rates this December. And we're seeing that effect as traders hedge on that cut. If we're seeing the financial sector right now, that's the hardest hit.
Yeah, and then, okay, let's talk about specific stocks. Ayala Land, property has been lagging. Is this a value play now, or is it too early?
It's too early, I think, because if you're betting on Ayala Land now, you're betting for 2026 capex to affect pre-sales or lease. No, you're betting for their recovery in 2026, but for now it's too early.
How about San Miguel Corporation? It's everywhere. They have food, energy, they have infrastructure. Yet its stock hasn't moved much, right? What do you think? Why is it? What's holding it back?
I think it's clarity, right? While the core business, the food, the beer, the energy segment remains steady, investors are still waiting for timelines on when are they going to get their returns on these big ticket projects. I mean, the airports and the infras. No? So SMC is SMC right now is highly leveraged. So when are we going to see returns on these projects? So I think that's what investors are looking for, some clarity on those areas.
How about in Costco? It relies more on consumer spending with a steady GDP, but rising costs. Can retailers still perform?
Rising cost, I would think. Well, cost management is a key factor for retailers right now, and the retailers who can manage their costs well will be the winners, no, at year end. In terms of Costco, well, again, we're seeing some good news in the consumer segment. Let's see if Costco will show the same resilience in retail spending and consumer spending. But Costco is a stable company. They've grown 15% in previous years. They're quite resilient, 5 to 6% dividend. So it should be fine.
And for now, you have to go to Costco naman. But we're just warming up, Dance. Follow the Money returns after a short break. Welcome back to Follow the Money. Still with us is Dan Slim, Equities Manager for Abacus Securities, and my co-Marites. So, moving on, Dens, are investors better off staying defensive in power, utilities, or telcos while waiting for clarity?
I think the barbell strategy still works right now. Stay in defensives for steady cash flow, but be ready to be selective on stocks with infra or personal consumption qualities. No? So basically, it's a barbell strategy, right?
Yeah, and then when it comes to naman a sector that is quietly outperforming, and is gold already done?
Gold's not done. It's just in hibernation. When you do a sprint, you spend a lot of energy. You have to rest, sleep,
Yes.
and rebuild energy for the next leg. No? So gold is just doing that. But again, the consumer sector seems to be silently creeping. No.
They need a Hail Mary.
Let's see with the earnings. It's still early in the earnings season.
There's actually a phone-in question heading into the last stretch of the year. Do you see a possible year-end rally? Kanina we're talking about window dressing. Or people na are too cautious?
I wouldn't say cautious or they're fearful, but I would say people don't have too much conviction on the markets right now. So you'll probably see more sell-on rallies or more staying on the sidelines right now. So maybe for this year, and again, if we compare ourselves to our ASEAN neighbors, the window dressing that may happen would probably be to cut loss on Philippine equities, and that would induce further selling pressure. So probably Santa may not make it this year because of the storms.
Oh my God, yeah. Talking about that. So, having said that, then there are a lot of damages in Cebu, diba? Because of the storm. Are there particular stocks that will be affected by that, if any?
Not sure. We'll have to assess each company kung
Like top
how much
line, di ba? Top line is based mostly on Visayas and Mindanao. Like those
yeah,
things.
I don't monitor top line that much. We'll see if Converge has presence there. They might suffer some outages, downtimes, but we'll see. It's too early to say.
And then when it comes to inflation, di ba? Low rate, steady. Why isn't the market reacting more positively?
Well, inflation and interest rates are necessary for markets to rally, but they're not sufficient, right? We still need to see other catalysts, right? So, for example, again, we've already cut rates by 100 basis points this year, but we have yet to see that translate into earnings growth. So we also need to see more cadence on what the future of government spending is, because that's still an overhang on GDP growth. I mean, when are we going to start seeing the government put money to work and for GDP to show those effects? So, I mean, that's only part of the solution.
So, makikita natin there are a lot of not so good news in the market. So, is there something that signals confidence is coming back? Like, what do we need to see first to be able to know that, okay, the volume might get stronger this time?
Probably a new year would be a good start. New year, new possibilities. Again, better if we can get more economic catalysts, probably some resolution into all this investigation. Just monitor foreign fund flows. Again, the market is still quite dependent on foreign funds. So once we see foreign funds start coming in, they'll set the tone, and then the local markets will provide the bid for that. But aside from that, we just have to wait and see.
So maybe the traders right now who are watching will probably, ito yung makikimarites sila. So what is gonna be the smart play at this time? Are they gonna stay liquid for now or start bottom picking?
Well, you'll have to start selectively looking at names, no? But you still have to keep the powder dry for possible catalysts, no?
If you have.
But always look at strong balance sheets, no, for stocks.
Strong balance sheet. Okay. So when it comes to having a name that, we could watch out for, or a list for November, which one and why?
Well, Costco is one, again, because the consumer play seems to be picking up. And then also related to a consumer play is SMPH, right? Because I think SMPH is more a mall business than a real estate or a property company. So, and SMPH really serves as a proxy for consumer health, no, for the Philippines. So, I think with the early signs of pickup in consumer spending, SMPH might be something to watch out for in November, especially with the holiday seasons coming in.
Tama. And then, did you say Pure Gold? Have you mentioned Pure Gold? I didn't catch that.
Well, Costco is part of Pure
Yeah.
Gold.
So which one
I
is
did
better?
mention SNR. SNR is facing some forex pressures, right? But Pure Gold, we'll
Mas
see.
local.
It's a bit expensive right now, si Pure Gold, but we'll see.
Okay. So, Dens naman, mag-rapid fire naman tayo. Laro tayong contest since ito ay napaka-init na mga topics, no? We're not even getting into much details with that. But, so let me see where your instincts take you. So, all right, strong peso or strong market?
Well, they're both one and the same. If you have a strong, so you have a strong market.
Okay,
Parang hindi nangyayari yun.
At least mag-manifest tayo. Blue chips or mid-caps right now?
Blue chips.
Okay.
Blue chips pa rin.
Dividend stocks or growth stories?
Again, barbell strategy, keep your defensive players on the field, keep your aggressive plays on the bench, but be ready to rotate on the whistle.
So cash on hand or stay invested?
Again, we have to stay invested in equities, but always keep powder dry for potential catalysts.
Ang makata naman ni Den Slim. BSP rate cut early 2026 or later? What do you think?
Early yan sa tingin ko.
So foreign funds or local investors, who's driving the mood?
Foreign funds always. Foreign funds sets the tone. Local funds provide the bid.
Okay. Stock
follow through.
Yeah. Stock you'd keep an eye on this month, besides those that you have mentioned? Is there something that, lurking in the background, waiting for the dragon to be alive?
Yung dragon to be alive na yun. CNPF showed great earnings. Maybe some other consumer names, no? But CNPF looks interesting right now for me.
Kasi sa consumer
SMPH, of course.
Yeah. Sector to avoid right now?
Financials.
Okay, banks. Okay, oil prices up?
With rate cuts. If I'm saying rate cuts, of course,
Sila
financials will be
affected. Oil prices up. Buy or stay away?
Buy what? Buy oil?
Yeah, I mean, oil stocks, probably petroleum. Yeah.
Stay away. Wala
Okay.
yan. No.
Year-end rally or flat finish? What do you think?
Flat lang to, flat, I think.
Thank you, Dance, for your insights and, being my co-market marites all throughout, even if you're in Texas.
Oo.
Good luck sa Costco shopping mo.
Wala na muna. Walmart siguro,
Walmart, yeah. Oh, the Thanksgiving. Baka pwede pa humabol. All right. Thank you, Dennis. Thanks. See you again in 2 weeks. When we talk see you. When we talk about investing, it's not just about quick gains or market highs, but about discipline and long-term commitment. As Warren Buffett once said, if you aren't willing to own a stock for 10 years, don't even think about owning it for 10 minutes. At the end of the day, markets rise and fall, but smart investors rise with discipline because in every slowdown, there's always someone quietly positioning for the next run. Before we go, 49 days till Christmas! I'm China Barachina, and this has been Market Marites on Follow the Money. Stay curious, stay sharp, and always follow the gold and the money.